something to say, there's something to say.
Hey everybody, how's it going? RHouse21 here, and welcome to another episode of RC Physics. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the channel, RC Physics is all about the science and technology behind our favorite RC hobbies. So today I've got something pretty cool. I always say that, but as always, I think this is really cool. So what I've got here is a special care package from Dronetag. So for those who don't know, Dronetag was one of the first manufacturers to announce an FAA compliant remote ID module. So they're a company based out of the Czech Republic, and they reached out to me and said, given the fact that I've been doing some remote ID videos recently, that I want to do a review of one of their products. And I, of course, obliged and said, yes, I would. So in the package, let's pull through. Oh, okay, this is interesting. We've got, oh, this is interesting. What is this? This is Dronetag branded socks. Okay, all right, Dronetag. This is not something that I expected to see in a product, but okay, I'll roll with it. I have. Yeah, check it out. It's got the little logos and everything. I got a pair of Dronetag branded socks. This is kind of cute. Okay, all right. Thanks. So what else do I have in the package here? Let's go through and okay, I've got a, oh, okay. Got a bunch of little modules. So they reached out and they had some things in mind, but they didn't really tell me everything that was in the package here. So let's see. Whoa, what do we have here? We have, geez, these are tiny. All right, so this looks like I've got a little battery and a module. So, okay, let's take a look and read here. So this is a Dronetag BS Gen 2. God, this is tiny. So I believe this basically, so this module is actually set up to be wired up and used with like a small, like FPV racing drone or small aircraft. So this is really small. Just for comparison's sake, here's a B-Wine module, and I reviewed this on my channel just a little while ago. So holding this up compared to that, I mean, that is very, very small. So it looks like it comes with a separate, has a separate case, which this, you assemble it and put it inside, and also looks like this is a charging module. So it's a whole system that you have here. So I believe you have to install everything, and then you, well, let's go ahead and see what else is in the package. So I've got a couple of antennas. So we've got an external, this is an external Bluetooth antenna, a second external Bluetooth antenna. Oh, wow. I've got, so this is another module, and so it looks like they actually set me up with two complete units. So I've got, one has a, okay, so for each unit you have a separate GPS and a separate Bluetooth antenna. So if you look at this little module here, you can see it's actually got two separate antennas here. One of these will be for the Bluetooth and one of these will be for GPS. So most of us are going to be used to seeing a GPS antenna look something like this, a ceramic square. So these little ceramic puck antennas are the standard for GPS antennas, and the reason for this is because they give a good hemispherical view of the sky. But there's nothing that says that a GPS antenna has to look like this, because GPS just transmits on a 2.4 gigahertz band. So there's nothing that says you can't use a whip antenna like these guys, and I guess Dronetag, in the interest of trying to keep their modules as small as possible, they just have a small whip antenna, which I'm sure if you open this up, which I'm not going to do, but if you open it up, it's got just the right amount of antenna length for the actual antenna element, and inside of here is probably some sort of isolator, just to basically convert the wire into the right impedance for this transmission line. And on the same side over here, you have a Bluetooth antenna. So you see similar construction, and the element is a different size, and this is for the transmission. This is basically to make this match to the transmission frequency of Bluetooth versus GPS. So these guys just install right to the module. So let's go ahead and just open up the full packaging just to get a look at what we really have going on here. So are these the same? Let me just make sure. It looks like they're not. Okay, so I'll open up. They both say Dronetag BS, and they both have the same base module. So I'm looking inside and I see the main module, and I see a case over here. And in this case, I've got the main module in the case, and I've got something different. So I'll go ahead and start on this guy. A lot of little parts inside of here. Okay, so I've got, so this is another Bluetooth antenna, so even smaller Bluetooth antenna, and a GPS antenna. So I'm guessing that maybe these are just the standard antennas, and then these bigger guys right here, these may be higher gain versions. So these antennas will probably give me better signal strength. Okay, and right here, this is a extension cable. Okay, so this is a power. This looks like a signal dongle. Okay, and all right, so we've got a 4-conductor cable here and a 3-conductor cable here. All right, so I need to look up on their website and see what these guys are. Okay. And we have, so we've got full documentation, QR code right here. So if you link to the QR code, you can see everything that's in there. All right. Let me go ahead and look at the actual module. That might give me some insight. So again, God, this module is tiny. So we've got on one side a Bluetooth antenna and a GPS antenna. So looking at it, you can see that, God, you gotta get in real close there. But on this side it says B1. I'm assuming that's for Bluetooth. And on this side right here is G. I'm assuming that stands for GPS or GNSS for Global Navigation Satellite System. So I need to see which constellations this actually listens to, but chances are it listens to the American GPS, the European and Chinese and Russian systems as well. Most units like this now actually will listen to at least those 4 constellations. I think there's actually a couple more, like I think maybe India has one. Anyway, so, but if you look here on the bottom, you also have these additional pads, which I assume these will allow you to actually hardwire power and other signals. So this may let you use this as a GPS receiver for like a drone. That's pretty interesting. So one of these connectors right here goes right into here. So yep, so that would be the power. I'm not going to plug it in just yet. Also comes with some heat shrink to go over top of the actual unit, so that gives you mounting options. Or let's go ahead and open this guy up. So this actually looks like another battery, and this appears to be a USB-C charging unit and a separate case. Wow, this is a nice case though. I give them that. And I've got 2 screws down here, so I'm assuming this comes apart. This looks like it's 3D printed, but it's very good 3D print. I don't know if you can hear in the background, I've actually got my 3D printer going. But okay, so what are the screws for? So maybe you screw this in place. All right, so it's looking like this actually has 2 slots up at the top. So here you've got 2 slots for the antennas to come out, and it doesn't look like you have enough. Yeah, this isn't big enough for the full whip antenna to come through. So if you want to use these large whips, you'd have to feed them through the holes and install them out of the package. And then it looks like the rest of it, see, I'm not sure if it goes in this way or if it goes in this way. It's looking like it goes in this way. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to have to stop and consult the manual and come back to you guys so I can tell you how this stuff actually works. Right back. All right, so after taking a little bit of time to consult the manual online, I realized that Dronetag really hooked me up. Okay, so basically what I've got here is the Dronetag BS right here, which, as I mentioned, is a really nice, slick unit. So this little guy is a fully equipped remote ID module, but it goes beyond that, because in addition to just being a remote ID module, this guy is also a fully capable GPS unit. So this uses the MTIM GPS chip, which is one of the newest state-of-the-art GPS modules that is out there. And so it's tiny, and as you can see, like, this entire thing, the entire remote ID module is smaller than the antenna for this GPS that's on my little Yashin Wizard here. So anyway, looking at this guy, the Bluetooth and the GPS antennas up here at the top, and then on the opposite side, you've got connectors here. So if you want to make this a permanent installation, you can hardwire this right into your vehicle's power using these pads here. Or if you have a system like this drone here and you want to get free, not really free, but if you want to take advantage of the GPS capabilities, you can use the UART pads right here and then actually send out GPS telemetry to the flight controller. So this little module here can replace that module and give me remote ID. So I think this GPS unit right here is coming off a whiz, and this little guy right here is going right back on. And additionally, what's really cool is because we have the separate antenna module options here, I don't necessarily need to have the big whip right here to separate this guy from the rest of the electronics. I can actually install this unit inside of the case or outside the case with heat shrink in the belly of the beast here. Just find a spot and mount it, and then have the antenna protruding out. So it gives me a lot more flexibility as to where I want to put these units. Very, very cool. So, but I'm jumping ahead. So the way that this all comes together, very first thing I need to do is pick which antenna units I'm going to use. So I think that for this unit, I think I'm going to go ahead and make this be my light unit. And what I mean by that is make this one be a self-contained. So I'm going to have the external case with a battery and the module, and I'll use the lightweight whip antennas. So these guys. So I'll be able to just take this and just stick it into a model and just have this be a self-contained standalone unit. So this would be really cool for when I'm flying my small aircraft, so my small fixed wing aircraft that I don't necessarily have the space to shoehorn a larger GPS unit like this B-Wine. Even though this B-Wine is a tiny module, you know, it's still smaller than this. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so let me go ahead and just get this guy together. So, but like I said, they gave me lots and lots of options here, because I can, if I want to hardwire into a model, I have all the pigtails. So what I could do is I could pull out this all together. I could put in the pigtail to connect this to the flight controller. So if I just want to go, again, battery only, or if I want to go full UART so I can get telemetry into the flight controller, there we go. I'm all set. But I think that is actually going to be the fate of this little guy right here. So this is, again, the same module. All they've done is give me a small compact case. So I think that what I'm actually going to do to make this be more of a full mount for this guy, I'm actually going to use the larger antennas here with the battery less unit. That way I can hard mount it into this. So this will be a permanent fixture inside this aircraft, and then I can remove this GPS. So I'll have a lighter weight solution. So for the rear here, I can just 3D print a bracket for the whip antennas, and these exist already. You can pick these online. You can find these on Thingiverse, where you have a dual antenna mast where you have like a V pattern that sticks off on the side, and I can have the GPS antenna going one direction and the Bluetooth antenna going the other direction. Will give me good signal strength with the antennas, and it should be great. All right, so let's go ahead and put this thing together. So I said, I think for this unit, I'm going to go with the smaller antennas. So let's find the right ones. So I think these are both GPS antennas. Oh, okay, so here we go. So this is you can actually tell by the length. The longer antenna is for a longer wavelength. So this would be the GPS antenna, and this will be the Bluetooth antenna. So I'm going to be installing these guys. Let me just take everything that I'm not installing right now and set aside. Okay, so I'll just put all this together. So this is fairly straightforward. And they also gave me 2 batteries. Thanks, Dronetag. All right, so to make this easy, I'll start off with the Bluetooth antenna. So you just need to remove this, and these nice clip-on connectors here. So again, just double checking which side is which. You can see right there. Notice it says B on this side and G on that side. So I get the Bluetooth antenna right here, take it, line it up, and press it in place. All right, pops right on. There we go. Now I get the GNSS antenna. I'm just going to say GPS. Okay, so I just take it, snap this guy on, line it up, pop it in place. There we go. All right, so for your enclosure, you actually want these guys to be at 90 degrees to each other when they're installed. You can't really plug it in that way, so I'm going to take this and put it in slightly sideways. So you can see here we have holes on the front and on the side of this. So you can set this up to have either antenna being 90 degrees off. I think that for ease of mounting, because you want to keep these antennas straight, I think I'm going to have the longer antenna going out the front. That just, in my little head, that seems to give me more options for mounting it. So let's see if I can line this up as easily as they did it in the video. So I can line this up and get this going out the front. And the other one, oh, there we go. I actually got it. Sweet. So I have to, actually, I'm doing this wrong. I almost made a big mistake. I have to put the battery in first. So you take the battery, you just put it in, you drop it in place, and now that hangs out the end. And this gives you easy access to be able to charge it. So now I go through and I put the wires in. See if I can do it just as easy the second time around. Oh, now it's fighting me. Oh, no. Went out the wrong hole. There we come on. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, almost. I can see it emerging. I just got the top one fighting me. Oh, that's why it's bent a little bit. So you got to be careful with these guys because they're going to bend. They're wires after all. So what I can do is I can just put this through. There we go. I got it started. Now I can see if I can do this without pulling it out. Didn't. See, this is where you guys get to laugh at me. Okay, so I got that one. And almost. Come on. It's fighting. Oh, got it. Okay, so I got them both in. So carefully push it through. Keeping it lined up. Almost there. Okay. Oh, gotta get this lined up. Okay, it's almost there. Come on. You can do it. Hear a Disney song like Almost There? There we go. So this is sticking out the front. And this is sticking out the side. There we go. Now I've got 90-degree orientation. There we go. We have it in place. And now when I want to hook it up, all I have to do is bend the wire up and connect like so. Let's see, which way does it orient? There it is. It just connects like this. Wonder if this battery has any juice in it. Oh, helps if you plug it in the right orientation. There we go. All right, and I have a little LED, so it's got juice. So now these wires are delicate, so you just need to be careful. So I can unplug it right there. And when it's time to charge it, all I need to do is take the charging unit here. Let's get it out. Okay, so I take the charging unit here, connect it here like so, and then take a USB-C cable. I'll just take this one. USB-C cable. I plug this in, and then I have an indicator saying that I'm charging. So I'll just leave this here and let this charge in the background. So unit number 1 is good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and set up unit number 2. Now this one is gonna be a little different. Oh, wait, I'm not done yet. Because also with the unit, it includes 2 screws. So they were nice enough to give you a spare because these are small screws. So I assume they're very easy to get lost. So let me go ahead and unplug this. So on the bottom of the unit, you will see there's a screw hole right here. So you just need, and these screws aren't magnetized. So it's a small hole right here at the bottom. So you just put the screw into the hole, line her up, and now you can secure this in place. Is it actually lining up? I think it actually is. Is it? I don't think I'm lined up. Oh, I was not lined up. Let's try this again. There we go. So now secure it in and we're good to go. So now the circuit board won't slip out. We are fully installed and this unit is ready for flight as soon as I charge the battery. Ta-da. All right, so now unit number 2. This one I'm going to set up to get ready for this aircraft here. So technically I don't need to install it like that. I could just go ahead and do the heat shrink in this case, but I kind of like these cases, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. I'm a sucker for a nice finish package. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold on to this case. I'm going to go ahead and just heat shrink this guy. So all I need to do is remove this one's the GNSS antenna and grab one of the Bluetooth antennas. That would be right here. And I remember Bluetooth is on that side, GNSS on the other. And again, if you forget which one is which after you take it out of the package, Bluetooth is a shorter wavelength signal. So the short wire is Bluetooth, the long wire is GNSS, GPS. All right, so Bluetooth is on this side. Take it, snap it in place. Why won't you snap in place? There we go. That time it snapped. Okay, now GPS on the other side. Take it. And again, the reason why you want to use these longer antennas is if you have a setup where, like if I'm mounting this into a foam airplane, the included small antennas will work just fine because the aircraft is foam, it's transmissive, it just goes right through. But if I'm doing something like a larger quad, carbon fiber doesn't always pass radio frequencies very well. So if I want to be able to mount this inside the airframe or someplace that is a little bit more protected and then have the antennas sticking out, then this is pretty much the only game in town. So since I'm going to be wiring up this guy to use the UART to give me full GPS capability, I can just go ahead and install this now. Just take the pigtail out, and I'm going to install it now just to show how this is done. So again, just put it in place, bam. So now this guy is ready to install. So now I can take the included heat shrink, okay, just pass it over the top, feed that over, and over the connectors. There we go. That's good. And now I can just shrink this guy down. And boom, there we go. Now this guy is fully encased and ready to install in an aircraft, just like that. All right, so Dronetag, I think you've got a good product here. The only complaint that I have about it is that this is clearly meant for the more advanced hobbyists. This is not something that I would give to somebody as a turnkey, ready to go, just off the shelf remote ID module. But that said, if you are somebody who's a little bit handier and you know what you're doing, you know your way around an install, this is a really great option. The size of this is tiny, and I'm curious as to how well these antennas are going to work. I mean, honestly, the antenna that's inside of a unit like this, this is probably a more conventional puck style ceramic antenna. I don't know how this antenna is going to compare to these antennas in actual operation, but is overall build quality, I mean, the connectors, the wiring, the ability to use this as a UART, so I can take full advantage of the GNSS receiver, GNSS. The fact that I can take full advantage of the GPS receiver inside of this and not lose anything by going with this, I think that this is a win. And the fact that it comes included with all the different wiring options, yeah, I think that this is a really great product. So again, not for the faint of heart, not for the beginner. But for somebody who's a more advanced builder or somebody who has a little bit more skill, this is a great option. So hats off to Dronetag. I'll include a link in the description, including pricing, so you know what these things are. Last time I checked, I think these Dronetag BSs were going for about $89 US. Now, that is a little expensive compared to some of the models that are out there now. There are actually quite a few lower cost remote ID units coming to the market right now, but for the flexibility that you get and the advanced feature set. Now, I didn't even go into all the feature set, because in addition to having the GPS output capability that I mentioned, Dronetag is also working on an S-Bus and Spectrum telemetry output. So you could take this module and plug it up in the future to a Futaba or FR Sky or Spectrum radio system and have it pull telemetry down from the module, which including airspeed and altitude and all the good things that GPS brings you. So that's also cool, and it has the ability to do firmware updates via Bluetooth on the app. So I'm going to have to go ahead and do a separate video when I actually integrate this into the airframes and fly them, so you can see the app in operation and how easy it is to integrate, get the app going. And also they have an additional feature where you can use the GPS receiver in your phone to augment this Bluetooth receiver to help it get a GPS fix faster and improve its accuracy. So I think Dronetag has really done a great job with being innovative, coming up with a good feature set, and making a product that is not made for everybody, but for the people who it is made for. I think they hit it out of the park. All right, that's enough for this one. Our House 21 signing out. Remember the mantra: fly, fix, fly, break it, fix it, and do it all over again. And stay tuned, because soon you're going to see both of these receivers in aircraft and flying, and see how easy they are to use and how they compare to other similarly sized modules. And frankly, there's not very many that are similarly sized, but see how they compare to other modules that are on the market. Okay guys, our House 21 signing out. Peace.